So I just came back from the gym and I wanted to make this quick video because I found out something really interesting. See, up until now, you've only been living about 10% of your true potential. And while I was at the gym, I was kind of daydreaming and I realized how an average Joe that's been living about 10% of their potential can unlock their full potential in just 3 simple steps. And with this unlocked potential, every single major problem you may be facing in your life currently, whether it's struggling with overthinking, struggling with self-doubt, struggling with feeling lost and stuck in life, struggling with procrastination, maybe you're not where you want to be in life, maybe you're not who you want to be in life. Whatever personal problem you have will probably be solved once you unlock your full potential as a human being. And before I get into it, I just want to preface by saying I'm not going to be talking about your physical potential, although I thought of this at the gym, ironically enough. It's going to be more about your spirit, your personal orientation, your identity as a human. Though knowing this at a fundamental level will allow you to improve in all aspects of life, not just your spirit. Because when I say that you'll fulfill your full potential, I mean everything about your life, not just your physical, not just your spirit, not just your mind. Everything will completely improve. But yeah, I realized all it takes is 3 things. And what makes up these 3 things is your beliefs, your confirmation bias, and your action. These two are interconnected. Confirmation bias and action is interconnected. But this is the reason why you've been living at about 10% of your potential, and it's also going to be the reason why you're going to live to your full potential. It completely works both ways. See, you probably feel lost, stuck, or you're not where you want to be because of your belief, right? You believe, maybe deep down, even though you don't want to admit it, you believe that you're inadequate, or you believe you don't deserve success, or you have some kind of fear of failure, the belief that you're going to fail. And these beliefs ultimately create something that's called a confirmation bias, which is a psychological cognitive bias. And it's an irrationality in thinking where your brain completely ignores the objective truth and just looks for information that supports the narrative that you've been telling yourself. So if you have this self-belief that you're going to fail if you try to take a risk, or you're not worthy of having more than what you have now, then your brain is constantly working to support that belief. And what's deadly is that this all happens unconsciously. Most people don't realize it. Like, I'm telling it to you right now, and you're probably denying everything I say. You're probably like, oh no, that's not me. That's exactly why you're still at 10%. Because it all starts with awareness. See, in order to make that switch from 10% to 100%, you need to first be aware of all your unconscious beliefs that you have about yourself, your self-beliefs, how you see yourself, whether it's limiting beliefs, whether it's beliefs you got from childhood, whatever it is. You need to know all your beliefs. Once you find out the truth about your actions, and if you're wondering how you're going to do that, it's actually pretty simple. You just look at what you do every day. What are your actions? How do you carry yourself? How do you see yourself? And you just want to reverse engineer, right? Because in order to have an action, there needs to be a belief. It's cause and effect, right? If you know the effect, all you have to do is look at the cause or find the cause. So if you're struggling with self-doubt, or maybe you're not the type of person to take much risks, and right now your reasoning for that is that you think you're just a more safe, realistic person. But if we just backtrack that, usually that stems from a belief that you have a fear of failure. It stems from a belief that you're not confident in yourself. And that's the harsh truth. And it's obviously not that binary. I can't give you like the exact answer to a set of symptoms. It's very, very personal. It's very, very, how do I say this? It's complex. Humans are complex, and I can't give you like, oh, it's X, it's Y, it's Z. No, it's very situational. It's very different with everyone. So you need to take those steps yourself. You need to reverse engineer yourself to find out your beliefs, your unconscious beliefs. And once you make the unconscious conscious, shout out Carl Jung, then you can actually fight against this confirmation bias. And instead of removing it, we're actually going to use our own confirmation bias, right? We're going to use it to our advantage. Why try to fight it when we can use it to benefit us? Once we find out these limiting beliefs that's causing you to be living at 10% of your potential, we want to replace them with beliefs that allow you to achieve your full potential. And just think logically. What beliefs do I have now? And look at where it's gotten me. Where do I want to go? And what beliefs do I need in order to get to where I want to go? And whatever those beliefs are, you want to instill them. And when you instill them, it's still an idea, right? As soon as you instill them in your mind, they're not going to be beliefs straight away. They need evidence, okay? And this is where step 3 comes into play. Action. Evidence is action, okay? So once you have your new beliefs set in, the beliefs of your desired self, you want to begin the confirmation bias. You want to keep telling your brain that I'm going to succeed, for example, right? You want to replace the belief that you're going to fail into I'm going to succeed. And right now, you still believe deep down that you're going to fail, but then you've just begun the transition. You kind of want to brainwash yourself to create a confirmation bias that says, I am going to succeed. And how do you do that? By taking action. Take action that proves that you will succeed. And you can kind of rig it to your advantage. Maybe take an action that you know you're guaranteed to succeed as a stepping stone. And when you do that, that's one action that turns into one piece of evidence, which strengthens the new belief that you're going to succeed. And this transition happens over time. The more actions you take, the more proof you collect, the more evidence you collect, the confirmation bias gets stronger and stronger, and it keeps looping and looping and looping until the new belief that you're going to succeed overtakes the old belief that you are a failure. And I know it might get a little confusing, but it's really simple. Like, I'm trying my best to articulate this in a way where anyone could understand, but essentially, you're taking a limiting belief that's been causing you to have this undesirable life. And the reason you've been living this undesirable life is because you never knew that this undesirable belief existed, let alone knowing the fact that beliefs dictate your reality. But hopefully, if you've been watching this far, now you know that your beliefs do dictate your reality, and it's because of this unconscious belief that now has been made conscious because of this video, your life is like this. And in order to reach 100% of your potential, in order to achieve the best version of yourself and have this life you want to live, you need to change the belief, because it's cause and effect, right? So you want to replace the belief that we have now by first defining it, being aware of it. What belief caused me to live this life? Once we know that, okay, what should I replace it to in order to achieve this dream life? And you would replace it. And once you replace it, it's not going to happen instantly. The switch isn't going to happen instantly, okay? Because beliefs begin as ideas, and after evidence, they become beliefs. And that's where confirmation bias comes into play, right? You want to set your own narrative, and you want to trick your brain and use this cognitive bias to support this narrative, which then turns it into a belief, into your truth, your subjective truth. And once you do that, then cause and effect will happen, right? You will achieve the life that you've always wanted. You will become the person that you've always wanted to be. You will reach your full potential. And that's literally all. So just to leave you with a few action steps, start asking why. Why do I feel lost? Why do I feel like I'm wasting my time? Why do I feel like I'm not living my full potential? Why? Why am I doing this? Why am I always scrolling? Why am I always procrastinating? Try to dig deeper. You want to take the steps backwards, right? You know the effect, and you don't know why this is happening. And you're watching all these self-improvement videos hoping to find out the answer, but the answer is within in your heart. So you need to keep asking why. Take the steps back until you reach the belief. Once you find the belief, write it down. Okay, because I genuinely believe that X is Y, now my life has become Z, or my reality has been Z. So, how can I change this belief in order to achieve this desired reality? And so you start critically thinking. I found out what belief that's currently dictating my life. Now, I need to change it. What should you change it into? Well, who do you want to become? What's your definition of a full potential human? And whatever that definition is, try to think again and be like, okay, what beliefs will then result in me becoming this person? And again, the last step is action, right? Nothing will happen without action. So once you instill the idea, okay, I need to start believing X. And now all I need to do is take action that supports the belief that X is true. And over time, that's just going to become your truth. That's going to be what you genuinely believe unconsciously. And when that happens, your life will change. And that's literally change in a nutshell. That's how you unlock your full potential as a human. And I just thought about this in the gym. I don't know why, I just have these weird thoughts. But yeah, if you found it useful, subscribe, Thank you so much for watching till the end. And if you want me to personally help you to change, you can click the first link in the description. You don't have to if you don't want to. And join my free Discord community. Second link in the description. Talk to me. Anyways, see ya.